Okay. So for part B, what we're going to do is explain what does this have to do with the triangle inequality. I don't know if this is a good mark or not. So here's my stick of length 1. And I'm going to break it into 3 pieces and try to make a triangle. What are some observations you can make about what's going to happen here?
Well, there's definitely going to be some cases where it works and some cases where it doesn't.
Alright, why don't you give one of each?
Well, like here's one where it would work. Here's a piece of length 40 100ths. Here's a piece of length 20 100ths. And here's a piece of length 40 100ths.
Okay. And how do you know that can form a triangle?
Because 40 plus 40 is bigger than 20, 20 plus 40 is bigger than 40, and 40 plus 20 is bigger than 40.
Okay, great, because it satisfies the triangle inequality, so it can form a triangle. All right, what are some lengths that cannot form a triangle?
Well, here's one. This length is 98 100ths. This is 1 100th, and this is 1 100th. This doesn't satisfy the triangle inequality.
Okay.
Because 1 100th plus 1 100th is not bigger than 98 100th.
All right, good. Good. And so what can we then say about the pieces? Let's call our pieces A, B, and C that we form. What are some either algebraic or geometric things that we can say about the pieces that we form in our cuts for when they can make a triangle?
Well, they all have to be less than a half.
Okay.
A less than a half, B less than a half, and C less than a half.
All right. Why is that true? Why do they all have to be less than a half?
Because if A, let's say A equals a half,
All right.
then you have pieces B and C have to add up to a half, so it's just a line
It's just a line.
and not a triangle.
Okay. So if anything's bigger than a half, it's taken over half the length of the stick. So the other 2 have to add up to the other length, which is either going to be equal to, in your case, a half, or less than the other length. So each one, and that applies to all 3 of the pieces,
Yeah.
right? Just because I pick A to be less than a half, like it might be a fourth, I might pick B to be, like 3/4 minus like 1 100th or something. And then now B is too big. So just because A is less than a half isn't enough. They all have to be less than a half.
Yeah. And also, just from the picture, A plus B plus C equals 1.
A plus B plus C has to equal
Because
1.
our stick had length 1.
Okay. All right. So this is where we get to with kind of the algebra. And now comes the part that I think would be very difficult to see how I can translate this into geometry. But I'm going to draw the picture for part C, and we'll talk about it. Okay?
Alright.